Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, let's conduct a little experiment for someone who might be relatively new to ZBrush. So in this case, let's take the default avatar, the male avatar that is given to us in ZBrush, and let's see if we can hook it up or install our own custom feet. Maybe this is a good workflow or exercise to figure out how do you stitch together different limbs from different characters. So in this case, let's grab a hand and a foot that I'm actually giving away on my Gumroad. And if you find the link below this video, you will see that these two items are available for free, and you can just grab them and follow the video with me. All right, so grab these and let's meet back in ZBrush. All right, so now what would be the first step to get this going? Go to your lightbox and grab this mail.zpr, right? So that is the mail that's given to us by default. The next thing I'm gonna do is go to geometry, and you can see it's currently automatically subdivided to 3 levels. I'm gonna go to level 1 and delete higher. And if you turn on your polyframe, you can see what the topology looks like for this base mesh. All right. Next, let's go ahead and bring in or import the files that you just downloaded. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go to Load Tool, and instead of replacing my current base mesh, I'm going to actually select another tool. Some random one that you have here is fine. And let's just go ahead and open this up, and let's just import the foot and the hand. So I'm going to say Load Tool. I'm going to grab my foot and say Open. All right, and here it is. It's looking good, and I'm going to do the same thing with my hand as well. I'm going to select this one more time, go to Load Tool, select the ZTL file, and say Open. All right, nice. So now I have the hand and the foot both loaded in ZBrush, right, as separate subtools, or tools, I should say. Now, if I go back into my male base mesh, I can import the hand and the foot into this subtool, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do Insert, and let's just grab the foot first. It comes in very large, that's fine. Let's do another insert, and now we'll grab the hand and bring that in as well, right? All right, for now, let's hide the hand and go to the foot one, and let's just jump out of the perspective view, grab my move, and I'm gonna unlock it and reset my pivot. Let's just put it, somewhere maybe right here. That's fine. And make sure it looks good on all the angles, right? I'm gonna lock this back up. And now let's just simply scale the foot to something that makes sense for this character specifically, right? And, just for fun, maybe he could have the foot to be just a little bit larger, but essentially something along these lines is good. And obviously that's going to be this one here, so I'm going to put it into position and just kind of align it over it, right? All right, nice. Now I have this, and let's do the same exact thing with the hand. I'm going to unhide the hand, select the hand layer, and of course same thing, I'm just going to scale this down, rotate it, and let's just get it into position, right? It's going to be his right, so it's going to be something like this. And once again, I don't mind if it's a little bit larger than the default hand, right? The only trick here is just to get the alignment somewhat proper, that it makes some kind of sense, right? So I'm just looking at these wrist edges, and I think something like this looks good. All right, very cool. Now let's start chopping things off. I'm going to go to my base mesh layer, and I do have the transparent button turned on. This way I can see the foot and the hand while the body layer is selected, which is great. All right, now let's figure out where do we want to cut this, right? So let's go into our side view, and holding down the shift key, you can of course snap to your side view. And if you want to zoom in and out, I'm just using the Alt key and just let go of the click, and that's gonna allow you to zoom, right? So in this case, I want to go to Z Modeler, and let me just decide where do I want to cut off my existing foot, right? The new one is right here, so I'm going to go like all the way up here. And what I'm going to do, I do have active symmetry on. I can turn that off, doesn't really matter because we're going to mirror this anyways. But let's just hover over our face, and let's do delete. Let's do poly loop, and let's just simply delete maybe this loop here, right? That's fine. And now I don't need any of this, so I'm gonna go to delete. Let's do poly group island and just simply click, right? That's gonna get rid of this default foot, right? And now we just need to connect this one to this one, right? And how do we do that? Well, all we need to do is just we need to merge our base mesh with the foot so we can connect the two together, right? So I'm gonna go to merge, and I'm gonna say merge down, and I'm gonna say okay. All right, you can see that the foot and the base mesh have merged together. Let's not worry about the hand yet. And now what we need to do is let's do this. Let's go back to zModeler, and I can turn my double on so I could see this a little bit better, right? But essentially I want to take all of these edges here on the new foot and connect them to the leg of the base mesh. So to do this, I'm going to hover over the edge, and you can see it says edge actions. So I'm going to go to bridge, and I'm going to say 2 holes. That's fine. And that's about it. Let's just simply click on this edge here, and then come up here and just simply click on that one, right? And let's just for a minute turn off our polyframe, take a look. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to make my brush a little bit larger. Hold on the shift key, and let me just adjust this intensity to something like 10. And very carefully, I'm just going to smooth this out. And by smoothing this out, it's going to look much nicer. Oops. Alright, so you can see what that looks like. Here's the new foot, and this is the default foot, right? I think the new one looks much nicer. If I wanted to flip this over, of course I can go to mirror and weld, and because this is on his right, I can just do mirror and weld, and now I have 2 of them, right? Very cool, and you can see what that looks like. Nice. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with the hand. And now as I'm looking at it for this exercise, I actually wouldn't mind if the hand was just a little bit larger, right? I'm going to go to my hand layer, grab my scale here. Let me just make this just a little bit larger, and maybe pull this down. Alright, very cool. Next, let's do the same exact thing. I'm going to go to my base mesh, turn my polyframe on. Let's just decide where we want to chop this off. I'm going to go to zModeler, and let's just simply click. We need to be careful, right? We need to figure out where the flow is. So there's a little orange line that you can see that moves around, right? You want to find, I think this here, and you want to do poly loop, right? So let's just delete all of these here. That's fine. Switch this to poly group island, click on that, and delete all of that. And same as before, I'm gonna go to merge down, say okay. Now it's all in one tool. So I'm gonna hover over the edge, bridge 2 holes. That's great. I'm gonna click on this one and click on. And as before, it's gonna create automatic bridge for us. Let's jump out of the polyframe and again smooth this out. All right, something like that is great. Let's zoom out and look. And you can see the difference between the new hand and the old one, right? The old one, in my personal opinion, doesn't really look that nice, especially if you're going for like a stylized character. This is a no-go, right? This is much nicer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do mirror and weld. All right, and now you can see the difference, and this looks much nicer. So now you can go through and adjust the body and start building some muscle and take it from there. All right, you can see what that looks like. Of course, I can subdivide it by pressing Ctrl G. And now from this point on, I can go through and start adding some muscle to this guy and, you know, keep playing, right? All right, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you guys in our next video.